We had a pretty big area to search because we didn't really have an exact location. It dropped off the radar at about 900 feet high, and we were told it was descending rapidly.
Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley speaking from the scene of the tragic crash of a Cessna plane in a wooded area of Flagler County.
Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley took part in the overnight search Friday and described a huge debris field resulting from what appeared to be a very rapid descent and crash.
The aircraft had left Sebastian Municipal Airport on its way to the Palatka Municipal Airport, and it was a 2012 Cessna 208 Caravan, which is typically used in parachute jumps. And it's our understanding from the investigation it was planned to be used the coming week for parachuting skydivers, if you will.
The debris field was found near Lake Diston, where Sheriff Staley says the weather wasn't good.
It was pitch dark. There was no moon, a lot of cloud coverage. It was about the worst conditions you could imagine to try to find an aircraft. And how we found it based on the general area of the aircraft, what Jacksonville authorities indicated on their radar, was we started walking actually this area and noticed the smell of fuel. That allowed us to have the Volusia helicopter pointed in a smaller area, and they spotted one of the tires.
The pilot was the only person on board and was killed in the crash. Now the investigation continues, with the possible causes being a medical condition affecting the pilot or a mechanical issue. For Flagler's Local Morning News, I'm Karen Johnson.
Good morning, Flagler County. I'm Rich Carroll. You're listening to Flagler's Morning News on Monday, February 17th.
Why are we doing this, right? Why are we at this point?
Palm Coast City staff joined Free for All Friday to talk about the challenges facing the city. Many of those challenges are due to the city's aging infrastructure, but acting city manager Lauren Johnston says they are up to the task, starting with the city's director of stormwater and engineering, Carl Cote.
There's great leadership within the staff of our organization, and a lot of things are done behind the scenes. Carl is so good with numbers. I mean, we have a gigantic capital improvement plan that he's overseen for a big majority of his career in the city. And these projects are very important to the overall success of our community.
Johnston also praised Chief of Staff Jason DeLorenzo.
And then Jason, his skills for how we can work in our community with different types of development, different types of code. And I think one of Jason's best traits is how he can relate back to people. You know, he might not have the right answer for you, but he can help you understand where the answer is and why. And so many other great leaders in our organization.
On Tuesday, we'll hear from city staff on how they plan to tackle issues facing Palm Coast's infrastructure. This local news is a service of Flagler County's Toyota dealer, Beaver Toyota, US 1 St. Augustine, here to wow you.
You have to be assured. Have we looked at every option, every other exhaustion prior to looking to the homeowners and raising rates?
Palm Coast Vice Mayor Teresa Pontieri weighs in on the debate over raising the city's utility rates to address infrastructure needs.
Pontieri said the city needs to look for savings and create new revenues before raising rates.
That is one thing that I think has been missing. I don't feel like we've done that exercise. Have we absolutely exhausted all other revenues and other options? And is everything running efficiently? Are we wasting money anywhere? And then after you've done that very exhaustive analysis, then you look to the residents and the business owners in the community to raise rates. But that should be your last resort. And I don't know that that's been done in the past.
Pontieri says the city plans to leave no stone unturned.
But then you also have to look at possible cost savings within how the government runs as well. So when we're looking at these things, that's why I say you can't look at them in a silo. How can we lower costs across the board? Are we being as efficient as we can be? And for all of those who have asked for an audit of the city's finances, one thing that we are doing, we have gone out for RFP and asked for a company to come in and look at, are we being the most efficient that we can within our city staff and within our city government? And they're actually going to do an analysis of government efficiencies.
Pontieri says that analysis could lead to cost savings for the city. From the WNZF Newsroom, I'm Daryl Moody.
In other news, following a 3-day trial, 26-year-old Stephen Monroe was convicted and sentenced for the murder of Noah Smith in January of 2022. Smith was 23 at the time. Flagler County Sheriff Rick Staley.
A killer who was given the opportunity of a lifetime in a plea bargain instead decided to roll the dice and went to trial. Like most people in Vegas, he lost, and he's now sentenced to life in prison without parole. I promised Noah's parents and family that we would catch his killer. We did, and they are now behind bars. I want to commend our major case unit, our CSI team, and everyone involved in this case, including the prosecution. We made a very strong, airtight case, and the results have been proven by a jury.
And now you're up to date on Flagler's Morning News. I'm Rich Carroll.
And now, Mike Licio with your WNZF local sports update.
The Girls State Weightlifting Championships were held this weekend in Lakeland, and 3 county athletes competed. FPC sophomore Nia Williams was in states for the second straight year, trying to be the first Bulldog champion since 2021. Williams would medal, finishing second in Olympic-style lifting. She gives credit to Coach Dwayne Hagstrom for her continued growth this season.
That man is great. He has made me want to be a great person. I see him every day, and I know he wants me to be great. That makes me push myself even harder. And the coaching staff that we have around us is probably the best team. I couldn't ask for a better coaching staff.
Also competing were FPC's Maddie Brinker and Pirate Ryan Parkinson. The Bulldog boys weightlifting team topped Palatka and Mainland to remain undefeated in Olympic at 6-0. They finished second in the 3-team meet in traditional, improving to 4-2 on the season. No games are scheduled today for the President's Day holiday. The Matanzas softball team opens up their regular season at Spruce Creek tomorrow. The seniors have high expectations, according to Coach Sabrina Manhart.
Our seniors are really excited about the year because they have felt that same thing, with excitement building each year, knowing that they've got something really special to prove for Matanzas Pirate softball. They have worked hard on and off the field. They are doing great in the classroom. They're great leaders on the field for our youngsters, and they're ready to go out and win a championship this year.
In more Tuesday action, baseball, FPC hosts DeLand, Matanzas hosts Atlantic. Matanzas flag football opens against Seabreeze at the Ship, and FPC boys lacrosse is in Ocala to take on Forest. FPC quarterback Hayden Hayes announced his commitment to the University of Chicago for next season. Last week, former Pirates softball player Emma Wood was named the Sunshine State Conference Player of the Week. Emma is currently a junior at Embry-Riddle. This is your home for local sports, with updates Mondays and Fridays. From the WNZF Sports Desk, I'm Mike Licio.